Matt, it's defeat against Wimbledon, and there's plenty of key decisions to talk about in the game, but your initial assessment on that one, please.
Yeah, well, we didn't start well enough. Didn't start anywhere near well enough, and gave ourselves a mountain to climb, same as last week. So, first and foremost, obviously we can talk about stuff after that, but we didn't start well enough at all, and we have to quickly sharpen up on that, because that was we invited pressure onto us. Too many sloppy passes, too many opportunities for them to break on us, and that was in the opening 6 minutes. So it can't keep being that we're having to come back into games because of the way that we've started the game. You give yourself a mountain to climb if that's the case. So from that point of view, that weren't good enough. Thereafter, obviously at that point, key moments go the opposite way for us today, and that was evident to see. Obviously, it was one of those days where whatever could go wrong did go wrong. So Priestley goes off. He looks like he's got a bit of a bad one, so that upsets it again. We hit the bar, and then within 3 seconds we've got a player sent off. And yes, it was one of those days where, and then we get back into the game from the way that we worked and created opportunities to get back into the game, and then concede within 2 minutes' time. So, yeah, whatever could go wrong did go wrong today, but it starts with the start, and we have to get better with that.
You mentioned the red card there. Your view on that one? It looked there was a handball in the build-up to it, moments before it, but your view on it, please.
Difficult. I haven't really seen it properly. I'll have to probably see our footage is too far out, so I'll have to see if we've got some closer-up footage to see what we'll do with that. It looked and felt harsh at the time, but I'll have to see it properly. But as you say, I think Taylor said that their players handballed it, which has then meant that where he's tackled him has been altered by where he's handballed it. So if we can get a good angle of that, we'll try. But as I say, that's twice the last 2 weeks we had players sent off. So as much as we will look at that, but it's frustrating to then have to keep on 3 occasions this season with 10 men, and that's as well something we need to look at. But as I say, that comes off the back of just hitting the bar, and it was one of them days where what could go wrong did go wrong. The important thing for me is we don't feel sorry for ourselves. It's what we can do next, and what's the next thing that we do to affect what's just happened today. So that's what's in my mind now. How can we be better for next week? How can we improve upon the starts that we've had, and how can we put right some of the not good things that we saw today?
Injuries seem to cause havoc for us. You've already mentioned Preacher there, not looking great for him. Oshin comes off as well. David Cagwin not involved today. Any early indications of how they're looking?
Priestley, there's a bit of worry around that, so we've got to see what's going on there. He'll be scanned early this week, and we'll get a clearer picture. So we'll see on that. Probably no point in guesstimating that, because we don't know. Oshin, hopefully not too bad. And David, he's probably out for another 2, 3, 4 weeks, something like that on that. He's took a bang on his ankle. So, but again, that's why we've got a squad. We have to readjust. There'll certainly be no one feeling sorry for themselves in our squad, and that's the way we have to approach it. Put the team out, be ready and prepared to win the next game.
Can't take too many positives from today, but felt as though there was obviously the Owen Evans penalty save. Plenty of work goes into that. It's not just a guesstimate for that. He works incredibly hard with Dan Watson, Jackson Smith as well, and then you go up the other end, and it's a brilliant team goal that starts from a fantastic header from Harry Williams.
Yeah, H I thought did well in difficult circumstances, or he worked hard in difficult circumstances for him. Pleasing with the goal. It's good work with Isaac. Great ball in, and great finish by Freddie. But again, we can see too soon after that, which is that we don't give ourselves an opportunity to allow them to become edgy. We can see too close to that. But for me, the what happens after the sending off is it's in the lap of the gods a little bit when you go down to 10 men. The stuff before that is the stuff that I really want to closely analyse, because for the first 6-7 minutes, whenever it was that they scored, I didn't think we were quite at it. We played with a little bit of an anxiety. We were going longer, which was unusual for us, and then we did go short, so our pass selection wasn't quite on. So Listen, that was evident for everyone to see, and the way we start the game isn't the way we want to start football matches. So we give ourselves a mountain to climb, and then there after that, it's difficult to analyse when you're down to 10 men. But as I said, what did go wrong, what could go wrong, did go wrong. We ain't going to be feel sorry for ourselves, because then it's all about what we do next.
How do you, as a coach, as coaching staff, change that mentality? Because you've already mentioned, you go behind a game so early after you get yourself back in there. We've seen it already this season. I think it happened at Blackburn as well. How can you go about changing that mentality?
Yeah, well, naturally, when you're on the pitch, when you've just got that sigh of relief, and you've got this, if we're talking about when we go back into a go level, there's that sigh of relief. You have to take that away. We have to continue to do the things that we've just done well, and we have to play. When you're down to 10 men, continue to play percentage football for the next 5 or 6 minutes. And when we don't do that, it's difficult. We give ourselves a mountain to climb with it. I mean, the ball for the second goal ends up pinballing around in our penalty area, and at that point you're hoping to get a good contact block on it, which we unfortunately didn't, and it flashes past Owen. Even with the first goal, the ricochet goes straight into the path of their player who scores. So those things we fell the other side of, but I can't escape from the fact that we didn't start well enough. That's ultimately what cost us going behind in that first instance. So, and in terms of mentality changes, listen, we have to. We've been on the right side of things with it. We've been fallen on the other side of things with it. So we have to remain focused, concentrating, ready for what the next thing is, ready to then stop crosses into a penalty area, not relax because we've got back into the game. But that's all stuff that I'm sure the group will we will work tirelessly on, we'll work hard on, and it's the thing that the group, listen, they're hurting more than anyone, because they've had to hurt for 70 minutes there without the ball, and nothing wants you to avoid those situations more than the pain that you go through when you have to field them. So there's a lot to be learnt from the afternoon. Mostly for me is the way we started the game. We have to be better prepared for that, and we have to stop giving ourselves a mountain to climb.